Hi, my name is Erica Kelly, and today I'm going to talk about project-based learning. In this slideshow, I will share with you how the third graders at Glacier Ridge Elementary created a butterfly garden with the help of a grant written by our media specialist, Kathy Witchey. What is project-based learning? It's inquiry-based, student-centered, carefully planned, managed, and assessed. Students are using their 21st century learning skills and cross-curriculum integration. We started with posing a question. We asked our students, what can we create to make a lasting difference at GRE? They came up with so many awesome ideas. They wanted to have artwork around the school, a school newspaper, a garden, a memory box, bird feeders. We were able to incorporate so many of their ideas when we centered to a butterfly garden. We began with the end in mind. As a third grade team, we met often and we had to come together and then work separately with our classrooms as well. At our meetings, we discussed such things such as the plot of the garden, where it would go, the things we needed, the materials, the resources we would need to contact, but we really made sure that the kids felt like this was their project. We had the kids come together in one classroom and we brainstormed ideas. They talked with each other about what would be the needs of a garden, how would we make a garden, and this is them sharing their ideas, and we sorted them by classroom teacher. Next, the teachers took those posters back to their classrooms to sort into research categories. The teachers then again came back together. As we said, it's carefully planned and managed. So the teachers were always coming together and collaborating to talk about the next steps and how to bring the individual research from other classrooms together as one big group. The research groups that we came up with were experts, design, supplies and materials, butterflies, plants, care, predators, and public relations. Students did the research in their small groups and worked together to find the answers to their questions of how to build a butterfly garden. Work was displayed around the school in the classrooms. There was bulletin boards. Students were always thinking and engaged in learning. Students would be making the phone calls, sending the emails, studying caterpillars in the classroom, asking experts to come in and share their knowledge of plants and butterflies. Next, we utilized the Glacier Ridge Metro Park, and we also had a soil tent presentation. In both of these presentations, students learned about vernal pools and how to manage the life cycles and how to create a garden. They also learned how to care for the soil and the reason that we need soil in our environment through the soil tent presentation. Next, we took our students to a field learning experience. We went to the butterfly exhibit at the Franklin Park Conservatory. Here, students were immersed in butterflies. Students got to see the life cycle firsthand of exotic butterflies that they would probably not see unless they were here. When we got back to school, we spent some time designing the garden. And as you can see here, many different groups came together and talked about their thoughts and their plans for the plot. Here you can see we had a plan for a 40 by 10 feet garden, and the kids wanted a path to go through the middle. Each classroom had a 10 by 10 plot where they would be in charge of choosing the plants that would be planted in that part of the garden. Next, we asked the building and grounds crew to come out, and the students watched as they plotted the garden. This was a very exciting day for the kids. After the garden was tilled, we had our soil day, and luckily Scott's Lawn Care fortunately donated the soil, so the kids loved getting their hands dirty and putting the soil down. In the classroom, we raised painted lady butterfly caterpillars, and we also planted seeds so the kids could watch the plant life cycle process happen as well. In the garden, we planted several different plants. The teachers used the grant money to buy a lot of the plants that the students researched that attracted Ohio native butterflies. In the pictures you can see there are some parents and other teachers there helping the kids plant the gardens. And if you see there in the center picture, that's the day that we planted them all. The next day, we had mulch day, and the kids came out and they mulched the garden. It was really fun. They even were able to set up the hose themselves. This was really a student-centered project, and the kids were behind 100% of what happened. The students wanted to integrate art, so we met with our art teacher, Kim Cover, who created wooden cap art sculptures with the children, and it actually depicts the life cycle of a butterfly. As you can see, left to right, there's a egg on a leaf, and then the caterpillar, then the chrysalis, and finally the butterfly. All the students signed the back of the butterfly to leave their mark. Next, we invited the school to share in the garden. We had the students create poetry posters about their learning and their experience to make their learning visible to others and to share with their peers. We also displayed all of the research that was done and the articles that were used to help guide in their thinking. The students presented to grade levels about the garden, about the research, and about how the garden came about. And we finally brought the parents and the community in to have a ribbon cutting ceremony. Students shared their literary nonfiction pieces with their research about something related to the garden with their parents and anyone else who came to the ceremony. That night we opened the garden and everyone was there, and it was a beautiful experience. Here you can see what the garden looked like when we were finished. And this was it 2 months later. Now it is completely beautiful and overgrown, and a beautiful part that the third graders at Glacier Ridge continue to take on, care for, and we've actually added an additional plot as of this year.